all that organic material began to decompose over time, and the road surface started sinking. So another not so bright idea they came up with, but people actually thought they were helping with the operation by doing that. This thing over here, the hollow log, that one over there used to look a lot like this one here, but that was badly decomposed. But they were part of a 71 log, hollowed log, fresh drinking water system owned by Henry Yesler. Another way he could make money on the side. He hauled 71 logs, connected them end to end. They brought water down a hill from a natural spring, but found accidentally in 1961, about 4 blocks up the hill that way. And in fact, they brought water down a hill from a natural spring. Where they were found was where Spring Street is today, 4 blocks north of here, by a construction crew. In 1961, they were kind of getting in a hurry to try to finish Interstate 5 through Seattle and get it opened up in time for the World's Fair in 1962. So these guys up on the hill doing the digging uncovered the logs. They phoned up Bill Spidell and said, "Bill, you're the big historian in town. We think we believe we found something historic. Some hollow logs up here. Could you come up and identify them for us?" So he goes up there. Bill identified the logs, then he surprised everybody when he grabs a shovel from one of the workers and he starts shoveling dirt back on top of them like he's burying them up again. And the construction crew that found him asked him, why are you doing that? You just said they're historic. Bill promised to return later that evening so that he could discover them on the 6 o'clock news. That's a nice guy, wasn't he? And then this photograph here that's kind of in the dark corner, kind of hard to see, but thanks you guys. Right. If I get it right, that doorway there is where you buy your tickets a little while ago. So it looks a lot different today. You won't see the steeple on the top of the building anymore. That came crashing to the ground during the earthquake in 1949, 7.1 that year. Luckily, nobody was down here when that fell off, but they didn't replace it. But the Pioneer Building has received a lot of awards over the years for architectural originality because of its architecture. But take a look at this machinery up ahead. The Pioneer Building received the very first electric piece of machinery of its kind, and what's left of that machinery is on the right side. Can anybody guess what this thing used to be? It was the very first electric one in Seattle, and it was installed in the building in the year 1892. So check it out, the motor to it, the gears, and the
That's very cool.
for the cable. The motor there is about 400 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, it's, somebody guessed it. It's an old electric elevator, the very first electric elevator in Seattle, from the manufacturer Otis.
Doesn't look like much now.
We got a couple of skylights on here.
Like it's the Otis.
You see, that's the kind of abuse they were taking, getting the holes, broken into them, and then the city started using metal plates to fill the holes, but then they got tired of doing that and started cutting them out. So if we have 150 left out of over 2,200 original, I'd be surprised. But they're like between 300 and 400 pounds apiece. Hey everybody, we've made it all the way through to the end of the tour where it accidentally runs into the gift shop. Walk away, we'll walk over those skylights I mentioned earlier, and then walk underneath and go after them. They do a good job of illuminating sidewalks despite having to look upstairs.
That's so good.
That's crazy because I just met our maintenance guy in car just a couple days ago, and he said good morning to me when I first came to work. I said, all I said was good morning back. I said, you do sound like Maybe he'll hire me to be a stunt double or something, right? One of his movies. Hey, does anybody remember this made the national news? In 2001, a semi-truck driver knocked the pergola shelter down. The guy couldn't make the turn like this guy just did. Widened up, his trailer hit the corner pillar, the whole pergola teetered and crashed into First Avenue and just flattened out in the street. The driver paid $78 for that, driving on the sidewalk fine. His insurance company paid the $3.5 million for the pergola.
Oh! Does he have a job?
$3.5 million later, they took the iron from the old one and then reshaped it, melted it down, and made the new one. So that's 60% of the original, at least. You know, these lighted up pretty well, and will be underneath there shortly. They got the outline sidewalks. You can see what skylights would have been.
Jimmy Johnson. Oh, sorry, baby.
What? Oh, she wants buns.
Here, well, there's a low overhang down here.
You will be fine.
The floors are settled here. The floor would have been where the brick meets the stone over here on the right side. I don't know if they're digging for treasure down there or what. Yeah, I've often wondered, you know, what if you came down here with a metal detector and started scanning the walls? Maybe somebody buried their, you know, stashed their life savings in the wall or something. Never know what you find.
How long have you been doing these tours?
Since 1993. Wow. Believe it or not.
That's why you're so good at it.
They've been lucky to stay that long. Of course, we had a year and 3 months where we weren't doing tours, you know, because of COVID, and I thought I was gonna just totally forget it all, but it all came back like right away. But yeah, this area down here stays damp most of the time. We think it's because of the incoming and outgoing tide, the water table coming up close to where the concrete settles. So it stays continually damp down here. But yeah, the image of the lady was taken, she was standing back in this area here, about where that angled piece of concrete is over there. So take all the photographs you like. We'll go upstairs and cross up everybody about a block away. We'll head back down into our second area of 3. We'll stay on the tour. Dark, damp, dingy basement. One thing that never changes down here is the smell. You know, more than 6 feet above that level right there. If you check out that second photograph from the left, that shows what this part of Seattle looked like at the age of 13. So that was taken in the year 1864. That main road there is Old First Avenue. We believe the outline here, that was the outline perhaps of a huge chuck hole that had been filled in with sawdust from Henry Esler's sawmill right here at the end of the block. And then over here is a little portion of the water line. During high tide, water went all the way up to behind these buildings. So a big mess. And the town got even larger the further south you went, or eventually would. Does anybody want to guess what that building is in the background of the hill? You've all heard of it. It's just located 5 miles north of here now. I'll give you a clue. The road that used to run, that runs along where that building used to be is now University Street. That's the original University of Washington. Yeah, one building on the hillside. There's nothing left of that old building. We actually entered this building's twin. This one burned down in a fire in 1889, and I'll tell you more about the fire coming up in the next area we go to, but it was a wooden building, as were 90% of the buildings in Seattle at the time of the fire, just like that. Boomtown wooden construction, but The one where now primarily brick looks almost identical to how this one did. We entered the building right here. That's the location of that doorway we came through up there. We are at this level now, and these windows will be where those are. But back in the old days, you'd look out and see the outside, and we'll head that way here in a minute. Around the corner, I'll explain how they put this whole underground thing together and how it solved the drainage and sewage issue, so that's coming up. But this building that burned down in the fire was built in the year 1888. Does anybody